What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back here continuing with the realistic rebuild series, and today we have the Chicago Bulls, who obviously made some changes in the offseason, brought in Josh Giddey, got rid of DeRozan, and now they're kind of in a similar mold to where they once were, where they're just kind of a play-in team right now at this current moment. But there is still the potential upcoming trades of Zach Lavine and potential Nikola Vucevic at the deadline, so let's just go ahead and talk about the state of the current, or talk about the current state of the Chicago Bulls, and so rebuild them in 2K25 as realistically as we think we can. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. I'm also recording this on Friday. You guys will not see this video until Monday, more than likely. I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve, basically. And December 15th, some guys become trade eligible, so I don't know if like trades will start happening instantly. Usually it doesn't occur like that. But speaking of trades and then the Bulls, Zach Lavine is still an interesting name, but it feels like him and Brandon Ingram are two names that are constantly talked about, but there's no like easy landing spot for either one of them. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what happens with Zach Lavine. Obviously, he's a good player, but the contract is kind of the problem with him. Same thing with Brandon Ingram. He's a free agent and is going to want a contract that most teams aren't going to want to give him in this current CBA. So it's pretty interesting spot. But obviously the Bulls brought in Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. He's been pretty solid for Chicago. Vucevic is doing his thing. Kobe White, obviously, he's really turned the corner. And they got Lonzo Ball, who's playing some games, sitting out here and there, but he's back at least a little bit. Jalen Smith, Torrey Craig, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and then that's kind of the rest of your roster. Obviously, Montez Buzelis is the rookie this season. But we're 10-13 on the season currently, and this is what things are looking like at the moment. So I'm going to throw Josh Giddey in over Lonzo. But speaking of Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Lavine, Buzelis, and Vucevic, I'm actually cool with that. With Lonzo, Adosumu, Jalen Smith, THT. And then is there anybody else out here? Like once Patrick Williams is healthy, he will probably take THT's spot. But other than that, I'm pretty cool with this. So if I do something to trade down line to trade Zach Lavine, I know the Bulls are going to try, but apparently they're asking for a little too much for teams currently. Will that change? Guess remains to be seen. So from the sounds of it, if the Bulls do trade Lavine, it doesn't sound like they're going to get a ton for him. We have to keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and wait to the end of year one, or if I stop at the deadline, I'll show you, and we'll see how this team ends up. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these other popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is awesome to have to finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research whatsoever. So we take a look at the board right now. There's a lot of esports plays, but I'm specifically focused on one play and one play only, and that is Isaiah Pacheco under 54.5 rushing yards. As you can see, there's clear value on this prop right here because you got Pinnacle at 52.5, and they're heavily juicing the under at 52.5. So you're getting a better price at taking the under at 54.5. There's not a single book that has this at 54.5 other than PrizePicks. So that's how you know they're the massive outlier here. And you can go ahead and take the under on PrizePicks, feeling confident about the value that you got. Doesn't mean it's going to 100% work out, but you know over the long term, you're getting value like this all the time, it's going to be profitable. So make sure to check out Daily Grind Fantasy. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables, 25% off your first month. Of that, let's get back to the rebuild. So I have stopped at the trade deadline to attempt to trade Zach Lavine, and I'm just kind of using the trade finder as an assistant right now, and I'm looking at a couple teams. I know some teams have brought up the idea of like, we could take a look at the Magic, for instance. They're offering me, former Bull, Wendell Carter, and then Jonathan Isaac, which isn't a bad haul. But then the team that was interested in him before he got hurt was Detroit. This one stands out to me because we could get off Zach Lavine's contract entirely. We would have to buy Harris's contract. Now, the problem with this is I'm not doing this unless I'm getting a first out of Detroit, and I'm not really sure I'm going to throw in the first. So let's say we got a 2027 unprotected first round pick from Detroit. And can we get like, I don't know, can we get anything out of them? Like, I don't know, like they're not going to give us Ron Holland probably. Is there anything to really squeeze out of them? Not really. I mean, there's not like, we could maybe ask for Duran, I guess, but don't think they'd do that. So yeah, I'm just kind of going off what the vibes are with Zach Lavine, that they may not get a lot. I think Stewart's a solid player, but it's something to be excited about. Basically, getting a unprotected first from Detroit could really work out in your favor if they'd even do this. Let's see if they would. So they want Javon Carter and they want to give me an... Yeah, that's not going to happen, obviously. So we're going to step away from Detroit. Let's go talk to Chicago, or sorry, not Chicago. Let's talk to Orlando instead. That could make sense for Lavine in a way, but also, like I said, I think a multitude of teams, if you bring up the idea of Lavine, they're going to be like, we don't want him. And that's what most fans would say. But, you know, someone's going to trade for him, I'd have to think, right? So Carter and Isaac, and then can we squeeze like a top 5 protected Denver pick out of them to bring back former, you know, Chicago Bull Wendell Carter back to the team? Would they do this? Let's see. They would want a second, and they'll give me a second. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to be getting former Bull Wendell Carter back to Chicago. We're also going to get Jonathan Isaac, who I seem to get quite often in rebuilds, but never ends up being a long-term piece for me. But I'm cool with this. I think we get a first-round pick, which is great. This will turn into a late first-round pick in this draft, which is a good draft class. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. Wendell Carter is still a solid piece to have going forward, too. So, Lavine has been moved. And, again, I'm just going off all the vibes that Lavine won't be worth much in real life, which is why we did that. We can also look at Vucevic trade since we just acquired Wendell Carter, who could be our long-term 5 at this point. And he could be a nice fit next to Giddey as well, which also works out for us. Is there anything for Vooch that makes sense? Like Capella in a first? Nah. Like Monk in a first, Mitch Robinson in a first-round pick from the Knicks, Orlando back in it to get their former, center. No, probably not. What else? Maybe we just hang on to Vucevic because I'm not really expecting to find anything that makes sense. Like the Blazers aren't going to want him. Obviously, the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors could make some sense actually, but Draymond Green could not be the guy that's in the trade. Let's see if we can do something. The Warriors actually. So. Could the Warriors give me, like, I don't know. Wiggins is probably too pricey. Looney. Could they give us, like, GP2? And then they need $9 more million in here. And then, like, Kevon Looney, maybe? Could they do something like this? And then we could give them, I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud here. We can give them, like, THT, I guess, as a piece in return. All right. So this actually feels decent. I actually don't mind this. And can we get a protected first out of them? So let's say it's like a lot of protected first for Vucevic. Would they do this? Question. They want Julian Phillips. They'll give me a second and they'll throw me slow-mo. We have to take Kyle Anderson's contract on, but we're getting another late first in this draft. So that works out for me. So just like that, we acquire 2 firsts in this upcoming draft. Josh Giddey will continue to start, and then Wendell Carter gets the starting center position now. Peyton is going to be in the lineup. The rest of the season really doesn't matter. We're going to end up being a bad team, obviously. And then we're going to throw Buzelis in here over Jalen Smith, more than likely. So we'll rock with that, and that will be our rotation for the rest of the season. And obviously, once we get into the offseason, we'll fix things accordingly. We'll have a good draft pick. We'll have 2 other firsts in this draft as well. So I think that's a good start to this Bulls rebuild going forward. So Luka wins MVP like he usually does, and here are the rest of your stats across the board. So if you guys have noticed in the last few videos, shot tendencies are just down in 2K. I don't know why. Like everybody's listed at a 70. It's so weird to me. It never used to be like that, I don't think. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I'm assuming we don't even have a 20 point per game score right now. So 17 from Kobe White, 14 from Giddey, and then 13 and 8 from Wendell Carter, 11 from Dosunmu, 8 from Looney with 9 rebounds, and 8 from Lonzo. So let's go ahead and start the playoffs, and let's just kind of see who obviously finishes up nicely. So we traded Lavine to Orlando, and they didn't even make the playoffs, or I guess they made the play and got eliminated. And then we traded Vucevic to the Warriors, and they got the 7th seed, but they got bounced in 7 to the Thunder, which makes sense. All right, so let's see who wins the championship. It is going to be the Mavericks getting revenge on the Celtics this year. But here are your retirements. So LeBron James is going to go back, or run it back once again. And the lottery process is kind of where things are going to start for us. So we are projected. Well, the Portland pick we won't get, but our pick is, I believe, top. I forget what protections are on it, but hopefully we end up getting. Or sorry, yeah, it's top 5. So our pick is projected in the top 5 right now, which would be great if it stays in there. And we are going to get the 7th overall pick, which I think Chicago gets the 7th pick very often. So kind of lives up to the realism that is. We get the 20th pick from the Vucevic trade and the 24th pick from the Zach Lavine trade. So 3 firsts ultimately in this draft, and we got to make sure these picks hit. That's the goal here. So staff signing, we'll keep Billy Donovan for another year, or we could fire him right now. Do we want to get rid of him? Let's see. Oh, that's wrong. I didn't mean to look at that tab. Okay, so you have Will Hardy, Charles Lee, Willie Green, Chauncey Billups, Brian Keefe, Caldwell, Cousins. I actually kind of like the idea of Willie Green for this rebuild going forward. So I am going to fire Billy Donovan. And we're going to grab Willie Green if possible. So Pelicans head coach, I guess he got fired. So we'll bring him in Chicago. And now we can head to draft night. And we can focus on, like I said, drafting, which I wanted. So 7th overall, 20 and 24, which is nice. No real position I'm like focused on currently. I just kind of want to see how the cards fall. So Blazers take a guard up top, which is interesting, and Dylan Harper. Cooper Flag goes to New Orleans. Number 3 is going to be Ace Bailey to the Wizards. Okay. VJ Edge come to the Pacers. We got Igor to the Jazz, and then Trey Johnson to the Nets. Okay, so at number 7, we could take Nolan Traore, we could take Liam, we could take Conrad, we could take Drake Powell, Micah Ruzic, Carter Bryant, we could take Malu Watch, Noah, and then Hugo Gonzalez. So kind of like the idea of taking Hugo. I have got Nolan in quite a few videos, and we could also take Liam as well. Which one do we want? So UConn forward, 6'7", 18 years old. Actually, we're going to go start there. I mean, he's averaged 22 points per game on, very good numbers, and his ceiling is Hall of Fame. I don't draft him all that often, so we're going to draft him to be our small forward of the future. So that's going to be our first selection, UConn forward. So I'm happy with that selection. And then now we can go to our next pick. So number 20, we have Carter Bryant. And Hugo falls this far, so we're going to smash that pick out of Spain. That's an easy one for me. Bryant to Houston, Josen to Oklahoma City, and then Donnie Freeman to Brooklyn. So now we pick again. We have Avicic. We have JT Toppin, Dame Sarr. So do we want one of the bigs, Avicic or Rocky? I think I'm okay with taking Rocky. So we're going to take Rocky here out of Australia, and that will be our draft. So feeling pretty good about it. I don't mind that draft at all. The fact that Hugo fell as far as he did is a great thing to see. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm feeling pretty solid. So Malu Watch also fell pretty far, but we get Hugo, and I'm feeling good. So now we're going to sign all these draft picks. They're all going to play a huge part of what we do this year. Dalen Terry, I will accept the option, and Javon Carter accepted his player option. Giddey is a free agent, and I do plan on bringing him back. So for free agency, we will re-sign Josh Giddey to a decent little deal. So let's say it's like 23 million flat or something like that. Kind of a weird number, but we'll rock with it. So Giddey will be brought back, and we'll also move him to point guard. I think he's listed as shooting guard right now, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's listed as point guard. So Giddey, Javon Carter. So now I have Kobe White, Audasumu clearly. Hugo is going to play somewhere. Liam's going to start. Isaac Williams and Kyle Anderson. Well, we could trade slow-mo this offseason, and then Carter, Jalen Smith is the rotation. So next year we're going to be bad, but I ultimately want to let the young players play and kind of just see how things go, and we'll be in the lottery once again, which is the game plan, which I believe we have our pick next year. So well, it says the Spurs have it. I don't know if that's supposed to be true. I guess we need to look into that. Regardless, I don't think there's a single move I can make that makes us a playoff team overnight. So it is what it is. But we do have money to sign, like re-sign Lonzo, but I don't think I'm going to. So ultimately, the one thing I want to try to do is trade slow-mo, because I just think he'd be better off, playing somewhere else. So Kyle Anderson, if we can send him somewhere, even if I'm not getting like anything crazy in return, I just want to get rid of him so he can go somewhere. So like Dallas has offered me a first, which don't think that's necessary. The Spurs want to bring back slow-mo. Maybe the Spurs want to bring it back. So we don't need 2 first services. Let's just say the Spurs take him first, second, and that's fine with me. So that's fine. We'll do that. So yeah, I'm feeling good about this. And honestly, Javon Carter can probably get benched, and Sumo could be the backup point guard. Dylan Terry will back up Liam, or we can move, Williams or Isaac there or whatever. So we'll figure that out. Let's go to player progression, and let's see what this is about to look like. So player progression, Lydell and Stewart are back. You have Kobe up to an 83, 82 Josh Giddey, Wendell Carter up to an 80, Jasumu 80, 79 Patrick Williams, and 78 Mataz Buzelis. So all this is looking great, but more importantly, it's all about getting the guys we just drafted some minutes. Rocky probably won't play much this year, but Hugo and Liam are going to get a ton of minutes this year. So I'll show you guys the rotation once I have it all set to where I want it to be. So here is the rotation for year 2. It's going to be Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Liam, Mataz Buzelis, Wendell Carter, Patrick Williams, Audasumu, Jalen Smith, Jonathan Isaac, and Hugo Gonzalez. So I'm excited about this. And one other thing I want to look at is some shot tendencies. So Kobe White clearly needs to be kind of the top scorer here, so we'll push him up quite a bit. What is like Liam's out of the draft? So Liam, I'm going to boost up 2 because we need him to be really strong. And the same thing with Buzelis. I mean, if we're going to need some guys to step up, it's going to be, our forwards here. So I want them to become really good players for us, so we'll do something along the lines of that. But Kobe White ultimately is going to be the top scorer. Giddey can score too, but, I still want him to be kind of the passing guy. Carter is going to shoot when he can. But Buzelis, Kobe White, and Liam is kind of where my main focus is on these guys developing. So hopefully this season we'll just see some progress. I'm not obviously expecting to be a playoff team more than likely. But as long as we see some progress, I think that's the best thing that can possibly happen. So year 2 will once again be another wash, but hopefully we get some like really good scoring out of the young players, and we can feel good about where we're at going forward. as we're off to a good start to the season, but I can't see that holding up. But if we somehow make the playoffs, that's a really good sign. So honestly, at the end of this season, we won more games than I even ever could have anticipated. But MVP goes to Luka once again. Flag is Rookie of the Year. Hartenstein's your sixth man. William Defensive Player. Bones Highland Most Improved. And Halliburton's the Clutch Player of the Year. But overall, pretty excited about how the season went. The fact that we got the AFC with how young we are as a roster is a really good sign. So Liam makes an all-rookie first team, averaging 13 points per game. And his efficiency wasn't terrible either. So we're happy about that. Hopefully Hugo maybe, right? Yeah, Hugo also made it, averaging 6 points off the bench. Efficiency was pretty good too. So overall, pretty solid about, what we got out of our young rooks, and we are in the play-in tournament. So I'm assuming Kobe White had a really good season too. The 19.5 from him. You had 13 from Liam, 13 from Patrick Williams, and 13 and 6 from Giddey. 12 from Buzelis, which is also really good to see. Ayo with 12, and then 11 and 8 from Carter. So overall, really solid stuff. We do get Charlotte in round 1 of the play-in. Now, it says they want to fix the rotation, but I'm actually running with what we got going on right now because it's worked in the regular season. I mean, we're not a contender or anything, but we are going to be in the playoff bracket, which is nice. So 25 from Kobe White, 21 from Liam, and then 20 from Matas Buzelis, which is what we want to see. And now we draw Boston, which, if I had to guess, don't think we'll beat the Celtics, but, we'll see. 1-0 start, which is nice. Okay. They evened it up, though. We did take one in TD Garden, but I doubt they're going to... Okay, so we even the series. And now, for a crazy Game 5 here. If we won a playoff series this early, that'd be pretty wild. Not going to lie to you. But I can't foresee that happening. And Boston's probably going to make sure that doesn't happen as they absolutely smoke us in Game 5. But there's a Game 6 to even the series and force a Game 7. I don't know if we'll get it done here, though. We're kind of on the tail. We might. Now we're going to lose. So... But honestly, the fact that we pushed them to 6 is already a really good sign. We're very early into this, reset, and we already Pelicans going to win it all with Zion and Flag added. So first year with Cooper Flag, they win a championship. But yeah, I'm still feeling good about what we just saw. Our pick is going to be going to the Spurs now. I think regardless. So the Spurs get our pick, and then do we get the Blazers pick, or are they in the lottery again? So what did the Blazers? Okay, so yeah, it says we have the 12th pick via Portland. Unfortunately, that's not actually the case. Portland's pick is like lottery protected for the longest time, so I do have to send that pick back to them. We don't have a lottery pick this offseason in this good draft class. So we have 17 from the Pelicans in the second round. But yeah, ultimately we need to send this pick back, and then we'll kind of explore what else we can do, whether there's trades or we just took a leap into the playoffs, but what do we do next is the ultimate question. So now that we've sent the pick back to Portland, we're on to free agency. We're going to accept Matas Buzelis' option, of course. We'll go ahead and accept that now. Dylan Terry is a free agent. We'll extend it, but I would not mind renouncing it if needed. We don't have money for Luka, but we're actually kind of close to being able to sign a guy like Luka Doncic. Low-key, I kind of want to spend some money this offseason. We have the money to sign somewhat of a good player here, and we might as well take advantage of it. I mean, let's make a leap towards being better because clearly things are working out. But unfortunately for us, one thing we do have to keep in mind is we do have to re-sign Kobe White as well. So whatever we do. So I think Patrick Williams, who had a really good season for us, and Jonathan Isaac, who had a really solid season for us as well. Those two will be kind of interesting trade pieces. I think Williams, you could definitely get something for, like, no doubt. So to dump some money off here, because we're going to have to re-sign Kobe White, I'm going to start with a Patrick Williams trade and send him off elsewhere because I actually want to spend some money in free agency, and I think Chicago is a team that can attract a free agent. Now, the Grizzlies wanting to give me Nolan Traore and a first is pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. And I could actually see this happening. I mean, the Grizzlies maybe want another 3-and-D small forward and to get Jalen Smith out of it as well. 13 points per game, 43% from 3. The Grizzlies, obviously aren't going to have the patience for Nolan Traore to develop. But I actually don't mind that idea. I might actually do that with the Grizzlies here. So we're going to make this trade happen. I mean, this is a really solid offer. So Patrick Williams and Jalen Smith. You know what? I'll even do you one better, Memphis. Maybe you don't even want Jalen Smith. Maybe we can throw you Jonathan Isaac on top of Patrick Williams. So we can just kill two birds with one stone here. And you take all the salary we wanted to dump, and we get Nolan Traore in return. And they say no. They disagree to that. Okay, if you want Jalen Smith on top of it. No, they can't do that. Okay, what if we swapped you... What if we swapped you the Blazers pick? Would you do that now? Would you do that? No, they're still not agreeing to that. Okay, what about a second on top? And another second? Come on, let's make some... What are they saying? They want... I'm not a fan of this because Weakens us too much. What? That doesn't even make sense. No one sure is not your starting power forward. What the hell are we talking about? Okay, that's a very interesting nugget for them to throw in here. Don't know why they're even remotely saying that. You're not trading a power forward away. Okay, so 3 seconds got it done. Don't know why it took so long for that to happen, but ultimately we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We got Nolan Troyer as our new backup point guard, which is just great to see, by the way. Hugo is going to be, I don't know if he'll be the starter, but he'll definitely play. Buzelis and Liam. So to me, the power forward spots are weakest position. Kept Jalen Smith out of it, and Rocky's going to develop. I kind of exactly know who I want the power forward spot. We have the money. We're going to resign Kobe White. How much money do we have exactly? So Kobe White, thankfully, isn't going to want as much as it said, but I am going to offer it to him still. I kind of want to see if we get Jabari Smith out of Houston. Would they match a big contract? Because, they're going to have to spend a lot of money on other young players. So let's offer him a max, and let's see what they would do with it. So they matched it. I didn't offer enough. I'm an idiot. Okay, that's my fault. So that would have been awesome. But Jalen Williams is here too. OKC is matching that, though. Jaren Jackson, as much as I like Jaren Jackson, he kind of sucks, unfortunately. Dasuma's a free agent too. I didn't really see that part. So I do want to keep Dasuma around as well. That's a big free agent to bring back. So we'll bring back Dasumu. That's going to leave us about $36 million in cap space left over. All right, so Jalen Williams is out of the ball range. Middleton, man. Tari Easton, I guess, wouldn't be a bad option. He's kind of similar to what we just had in Patrick Williams, though. But still, I mean, if we're going to go after something, I guess that'd be the last player that I'd like to go get if Houston can't. Jaren Jackson's cool, too, but he just sucks in 2K, man. Jalen Williams would be re-signed by the Thunder no matter what. So I am going to splurge on Tari Easton, I think. So Tari Easton's going to be the big go after getting of the player, or I don't even know what the hell I just said, but you get what I'm saying. So we're getting Tari Easton in free agency. We're spending up on Tari Easton, hoping it works out in our favor. So Giddey Dasumu, Hugo, Nolan Troyer, who we just got. So we didn't even really need to resign Dasumu, to be honest with you. But we have no power forward, but that's going to be changed in just a second. We're going to have to move either... I guess we'll have to move Hugo to the 3, Dasumu back to shooting guard, and then one of them is going to be back to the power forward. So that's probably what we'll do. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So Dasumu is going to go back to shooting guard, so we can do that right now. So he's going to go up to an 80. Nice. So that's looking good. And then Hugo will slide down to the 3, and that looks good. 1 up overall there. And then we'll move Tari Eason to probably, Tari Eason to power forward, he goes down, and we'll move Buzelis to power forward as well. So that will be kind of what we got going on there. And now we'll go see what player progression looks like after all of that is said and done. I might move on from Tari Easton at the trade deadline too, but Nolan's up to an 81. Kobe White's up to an 84. Giddey is up. Buzelis up to an 81. But we don't really have a true superstar yet, which may really matter when it's all said and done to going on to win a championship. Not that Jabari Smith would have been a true superstar either, but I think he would have developed into like an 88 overall at the very least. But ultimately, I think if we can strike gold at the deadline by getting a really good player that just makes sense on this roster to give us a #1 type scorer, I think we could, honestly, I don't think it's crazy to say that we could potentially win a championship next season because this core is pretty damn good. As long as we don't gut our core too much, I do think we can pull something off, which is really exciting to think about. The rotation is Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Liam, Tari Eason, Wendell Carter, Mataz Bazile, Nolan Traore, Ayo Dosunmu, Hugo Gonzalez, and Jalen Smith. So that looks good, and we do have some other pieces we can throw in a trade, but ultimately what we're going to find out is how good are we truly, and if at the deadline, if there's anything available to us, we'll see how this regular season starts. Does it start as good as last time? No, not quite. Actually off to a poorer start than last time, but things can still turn around. But hopefully we're good enough to justify making some type of win now move at the deadline, because I would love to push this team into contention quicker than I thought. But, based off the success we had last year, I don't mind that window or the trajectory that we're on currently. But right now we're looking like a play-in team at best. But hey, man, if we're still hovering around 500, I still might make that move. So we are starting the trade deadline, as I promised you guys, and I do have a few players in mind. So Jalen Johnson becomes interesting, but I just noticed that the Hawks are the 3rd seed, so that actually doesn't make any sense why it says they're rebuilding. But the other team that I kind of like the idea of making a trade with is Toronto, because they have Mr. Scotty Barnes, who's still only 25.89 overall, would kind of fit exactly what we were looking for in free agency. So he's averaging 16 points per game. Obviously, he's not going to be like a #1 scorer, but does give us a really good overall on this team and a really good player in general. So, and I could also boost his shot tendency to make him even better because I'm sure shot tendency is ridiculously low right now. So, Tari Eason is going to be part of this trade, who's averaging 10 points per game right now, but he will be the start of the offer. And I will give you Jalen Smith as well. And then you have to give me, not Caden Boozer, sorry, but Maxwell Lewis. Does that get the conversation started? It does. So Tari Eason and Jalen Smith. But one thing I will do with Tari Eason right now, actually, is move him to the small forward to make his overall even better. To, you know, boost the value up the trade just a tad bit. Nothing too crazy, but Tari Eason and Jalen Smith back in the trade for Scotty Barnes and whatever else. But the one thing we do have going for us is that Memphis pick should be pretty good considering they're not very good right now. So it's only 2 stars. That'd be better. But our pick, which we're not very good either, and then our 2029 first as well. So 3 first-round picks along with Tari Eason and Jalen Smith for Scotty Barnes. What would they say to this offer? And that was easier said than done. So just like that, we get Scotty Barnes here in Chicago. So now I have a full rotation of Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Liam, Scotty Barnes, Wendell Carter, Matas Buzelis, Nolan Troyer, Ida Sumo, and Hugo Gonzalez. And then Rocky will step up in that center role now. So hopefully with that move, and then like I mentioned, we can actually move Barnes' shot tendency up so he's done being disrespected and becomes this elite scorer for us because that's what he can be in 2K. And then Kobe White's shot tendency come down just a tad bit. And Buzelis can come down just a tad bit. And yeah, I think I'm okay with that. And then Liam's can maybe come down just a little bit too. We'll move. Yeah, so that looks good. All right. So somebody the rest of the season. 2 games over 500 right now. Hopefully with the addition of Scotty Barnes, we get even better. Now, will we win a championship this year? I do think we still need some younger players to develop. Like Liam needs to go up in overall. Same thing with Nolan Traore. We are taking one step closer to being a true contender in the East, in my opinion. So Zion's going to win MVP for the New Orleans Pelicans. Cameron Boozer is Rookie of the Year for the Knicks. Cooper Flagg's your 6th man. So New Orleans seems like they've made a scary team their own right. But like I said, I'm glad to be in the playoff dance, but I do think we need one more offseason of fully developing before we're a true championship team, as we are in the play-in once again. It's kind of same position as last year, but this year we are the 7th seed instead of the 8th seed. So scoring across the board was kind of spread around a little bit. But let's see if we can beat the Pacers to get in. And we lose. Okay, so it's going to be Toronto, which would be interesting. It's Washington. All right, so let's go to Simcast. And they want to give some minutes. All right, so we're going to go to a 9 rotation in the playoffs. No one's going to get some more minutes. But ultimately, if we get in, I feel it could be a scary team to deal with. But we may not be ready. As I mentioned, we got to get the lead here. We've had no lead in this game at all. And we do take it at the very end. So just like that, 35 from Barnes, which is what we wanted. We draw Cleveland in round 1. Can we play spoiler in round 1? I don't know. I don't know if we're ready for that. But would it be kind of cool if we did? So Cleveland. Actually, let's go game by game here. So game 1 is going to go to Cleveland. So we're not ready for that moment, I don't think. We're down 2-0. Yeah, I don't think we're fully ready to be a contender just yet. But we're... Wait a minute. We've won 2 straight. We've won 2 straight. Who knows, man? Maybe we can force a game 7 and things become very crazy here. We won this one. We're on their ankles, but I don't think we're going to take the lead ultimately. So we do make things interesting once again, but not quite there. I do think we need to upgrade the center position, and we need our young players to develop, and we're going to be really good. I think that's where I'm, kind of sitting at. So we traded a lot of draft capital to get to where we are. Don't even think we have a pick from anybody, right? So yeah, no picks at all. If I had, yeah. So our pick's going to Toronto from the Barnes trade, obviously. We'll keep Willie Green around. I think he's done a good job so far. So let's go to player options and let's see. So we'll accept all of these. Qualifying offers, Malik Lewis. Not really worried about him. Is there any other free agents to worry about? No. So we don't have the money for... We do have the money for like Gal Buselli or Gogo Badatste. We could get a different center, Kyle Filipowski. So we could sign someone, but we probably won't. So Nolan Troyer, Josh Giddey, that's only going to get better. Kawhi Dosunmu, that looks good. Liam and Hugo looks good. Barnes and Buzelis looks good. And then Wendell Carter. I think the center positions where I'm kind of like, yeah, this could be better. This could be better, right? So what could I get for Wendell Carter? Is there anybody else I can throw in here? Not really. So Wendell Carter for, I don't know. Like, is anybody going to give me an upgrade to center position? Like, Okongwu is not really going to make much of a change if I had to guess. First round picks. Missy. But we have to trade 6'11", 6'10". I mean, maybe we don't really have the opportunity to make a center. Robert Williams, I guess, is somewhat interesting, but does it change the dynamic that much? I don't think so. I think we're better off just keeping Wendell Carter and just kind of rocking with it, I guess. Let's go to player progression, because we're not going to make any moves in free agency. Maybe Rocky develops like crazy too, and he could become a really good piece as well. But player progression, let's see what it's looking like. So we got Barnes up to 89, Liam 85, 84 Giddy, 83 Buzelis, 83 of Nolan, and then Rocky's up to an 81. So he's quickly developing as well. So maybe we need another offseason after this to get like the full development from everybody. But I still think we could go win it next year. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. We'll see if that ends up happening. I'm going to auto-generate the rookies because I feel pretty confident that we could actually make some noise this year. We'll be in the playoffs and out of the play-in. We'll actually make the playoff. Yeah, so we're at a 4.5 proficiency, and this is what it's looking like. So Giddy, Kobe White, Liam, Barnes, Wendell Carter, Nolan, Buzelis, Rocky, and Dosunmu. So that looks really good. That leaves Hugo out of the rotation entirely, which we'll run 10-man for the regular season. So we'll rock with that. But all right, let's simulate this season. Barnes will have his full shot density for this regular season, and we'll see how much that changes our record. But hopefully this goes as good as we think it can. So Luka Doncic in a Warriors uniform wins MVP. Wilson's your rookie of the year for Memphis. Trey Man's your sixth man Wemby defensive player, and Mikal Brown's your most improved and clutch player is Paulo Banchero, and Steve Kerr is your coach of the year. Here's your NBA first team with Luka, Jokic, Wemby, Halliburton, and Shea. Here's your All-NBA second team with Mobley, John Morant, Harper, Bam, and Giannis. And here's your All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. So we are the first in the East, like I kind of thought things could go, because, you know, we're a good team, and there was no 20-point per game score. The scoring is kind of spread around, but, you know, we have a lot of good players. So we'll see if that ends up working out at all. Knowing Troy is going to get the start, I guess, here. We draw Toronto round one, which is interesting because obviously we took Scotty Barnes from them, and Rocky's going to start in the playoffs too. So this will make for a very interesting series against Toronto, who always seems to have success. But they got Tari Easton, Murray Boyles, Jakob Poeltl, Mikal Brown, and Jacoby Walter. Someone to come around against Toronto, and they are going to go up 3-2 on us. So Toronto is one of those sneaky teams, though, low-key. So, you know, losing to them in round one wouldn't feel great, but we do have to remember Toronto always seems to have success. Sometimes they make it to the finals, which is crazy. But as long as we can win Game 6, I have confidence we can go back to Chicago and win Game 7. So we've won Game 6, and now we just need to go back to Game 7 at home in front of the Chicago fans and take care of business. Right now, it's looking good as long as we don't blow a massive lead, and we are going to beat the Raptors. They gave us some problems there early on, but now we beat them. So Indiana in the next round, we do jump up 1-0 by a large margin. I have Halliburton, Mathurin, BJ Edgecombe, so Siakam's still there. Good team in Indiana that we're dealing with, and we're up 2-1. 3-1, and are we gonna beat them in 5? Yes, we are, and we're on to the conference finals just like that. But ultimately, is the center position gonna be the thing that, you know, keeps us back? Detroit has Mark Williams, Naz Reid, Cade, Jaden Ivey, Asar, Ron Holland. It's a good team in Detroit we're dealing with, as they're gonna jump up 1-0. They're up 2-0, and we are going to be down 2-1, but we might even the series. So they took both games in Chicago. Can we return the favor and take both games in Detroit is the question. It's going to be a close one here, but if we take this series becomes a reset. We are going to go down 3-1 as they took game 4 at home. So now we have to win 3 straight to win the series. So can we do that against a talented Detroit roster is the question. I mean, we just kind of found ourselves in a little bit of a corner against the Raptors. So we do win that one. We win this one, which they want to fix rotation again. We win this game in Detroit. We go back to game 7 in Chicago. It could be very interesting. So here goes nothing. They might low-key steal it at the end. Can we hang on to the lead is the question. It's looking okay right now. So it looks like we are going to go. Well, you know, it's going to be close, but I think we're going to hang on. I think. Yes, we do. So we are going to a game 7. Back to Chicago. They want to continue to rock with the centers, I guess. So we're going back to Wendell Carter for game 7. Let's see if we can just blow them out here and no sweat game 7 here. Going to be a close one, though. Of course, it's not going to be a blowout. Why would it be? But it looks like we're going to hang on here, and we're going to go to the finals after being down 3-1 to Detroit. So 38 from Liam, which is just great to see. 19 points per game in these playoffs so far. Now I draw the Thunder, who earlier drafted... oh, they have AJ. Damn. Whoa, this is a damn good looking team. So Shea, Case Wallace, AJ, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren. That's 490 overalls, and they're starting 5. And they got Malou Watch as well. I mean, the odds of us winning a championship at all in this video with that kind of roster on the Thunder, I feel like is very slim. So good luck to us ever getting it done here. But I think our best chance is to simcast every game. I think we just go game by game here. We're going to be probably in a tough spot. But we're on their ankles here, but I don't think we're going to win it. So we are... Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to steal game 1. Damn. I mean, it's in Chicago, so we're technically stealing it. Not really, but we got to win. This is going to be tough, bro. I don't see us beating this Thunder team with the way they're stacked up right now. Yeah, we might win this one, so we are going to win. It almost looks like we're going to lose. We almost stole game 1 as well, even though I keep saying steal. But again, I mean, we were at home, so they stole one technically. But all right, Simcast is our best friend here. Every game has been close. We've like kind of taken it at the end. Hopefully they don't do that to us. And as I said that is exactly what's going to happen. They beat us by 1. So it looked like we had a win there in our back pocket, but now we're going back to Oklahoma City. Or I guess we've stayed in Oklahoma City, but if we can even this series, that would be massive, because we go down 3-1. I don't see us coming back from 3-1 against the Thunder, but it looks like we are going to even the series. So we even the series, and now we have a best of 3, 2 games at home, and this is where we really need to lock in. So game 5 in Chicago. If we can start out hot here, that'd be great. All right, so it's going to be very close to start things off. We get back in the game. It's not looking like it. We're gonna lose. So we're gonna be down 3-2, and this is where I'm going. You know what? Let's go 8-man rotation here, and let's just put it all on the floor. So 8-man rotation for this massive game 6 to tie the series, to force us back to a game 7. It's looking like we're gonna do so, as long as we don't blow a 20-point per game, or point per game, but 20-point lead. Wow, this is gonna get crazy. We have a chance to beat this Thunder team, which is just crazy to think about with how talented it looks. But game 7 in Chicago, just please make it a close game at the very least. I don't want to get blown out here. We didn't get this far just to get blown out. Ultimately, it looks like, though, we may blow them out. Well, you know what? It is a close game, or it's going to be. I think I might have to jump in to keep this lead. Yeah, I'm jumping in. Well, we'll go a little bit further. All right, so 8-point game, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. We're going to jump in and make sure we secure this victory. I can't blow an 8-point lead. I can't do it. So that, the Thunder are going to have the ball. As long as we can jump in and save the day. We might bring a championship earlier than I thought. So we're going to go to Chet in the corner. Chet's going to shoot a mid-range, and that's going to be off the rim. We got it. So nice rebound there. Go to Giddey here. All right, so we're going to give it to Giddey. We got a very tall lineup on the floor. Holy crap. All right, so let's see if we can get something going here. This... I don't even know who I want to go to be honest with you. It's just kind of weird to think about. But I'm going to back down. I think this is AJ that's guarding me right now. Give me a foul and 1. Nope. But we are going to draw a shooting foul, which is nice. So we'll draw a foul. Just a traditional, back to the basket. We're going to make our first free throw. And let's see if we can make our second one. And that's going to be both down. All right. So that's a nice first start to the game. We stopped them on the defensive side of the ball. Even though Chet just basically missed a mid-range. We grabbed the board. And we get a foul and make both our free throws. So AJ, oh my goodness, 3, and he's going to splash it. 108 to 115. So 3 is better than 2, obviously. I guess Kobe White's the guy I kind of want to go through here. But I also want to take some clock off, so we don't want to rush each possession. But Kobe White's definitely going to be the guy we go through here. So give me a screen, Buzelis. Actually going to go to Buzelis here. And oh my goodness, how did I not get that layup? I mean, you had the size on J-Dub there. J-Dub, he's a good defender in his own right. And we are going to get, all right, we got to lock in now. 5-point game. We can't be the ones to blow this. We can't do it. I'm not going to be the one that blows this. So Kobe White, I think I might just shoot the ball with you this next possession. Let's see. So Kobe White, I was going to shoot the 3, but I think I accidentally clicked the button. So 10 seconds left in the clock. 3-pointer. Oh, that would have been a massive 3. Okay. It's a 5-point game. We don't make it. Buzelis. I'm going to make sure AJ doesn't shoot a 3 really quick. And he's going to go. Oh, nice steal by Giddey. That was a massive steal. We needed that turnover badly. Buzelis in transition. We're going to slow this down to Liam. Let's go. Or this is Rocky. Sorry. Or I don't know if that's actually his real name, but that's what the draft class creator has it spelled as. We need a 3 here, man. Kobe White 3. He's open. And that's going to be a bad release on my end. But thankfully, we got a steal in the last possession. We just need to stop here. Chet on his former. I just realized Josh Giddey's playing his former team, by the way. AJ, another 3. It goes in. We have not been able to do anything on the offensive end, and now the Thunder are making us sweat. They are making us sweat here. So let's see if we can get a possession. We need a basket, man. At this point, we just need a basket, and that's huge. Okay, we needed that. 117-113. Nice pass by Kobe White to Buzelis. We needed that in the worst way possible. We got to make sure they're going to call their timeout. All right. Thankfully, we had a nice lead, because if I just jumped in, I'd be getting outscored right now. The Thunder went on a nice run. I would not been able to hit shots, man. That's what it is at the end of the day. So as long as we don't allow a 3 here, we're going to not allow them to... Oh, my goodness. Why is Chet wide open? He misses it. Oh, my gosh. That was a big miss. Big miss by Chet Holmgren. That would have made things very, very sweaty. But thankfully, he misses his 3-point shot. He was open, too. Rocky got really slow to get out there. This will make this a 5-point game as long as we... There we go. 6-point game. Sorry if I can do math correctly. So 24 seconds left in the clock. AJ is going to have the ball. But the fact that we took down this Thunder team and we took down Josh Giddey's former team to begin with is just awesome. Nice. Ooh, that should have been a block, dude. But 16 seconds left. AJ is at the free throw line. He's going to make the first one. And let's see if he's going to make the second one too. And he is going to make the second one. All right. So let's go to Kobe White here. Kobe White gonna be the guy we go to inbound. They're gonna foul. 15 seconds left. All right, let's see if we can hit these free throws. First one is going in. I feel like I suck with Kobe White's release so far. Can I splash this one? There we go. We figured it out. 115-121. Thunder are gonna have the ball again. I'm gonna guard Shea. Shea's gonna go to Cason Wallace. Wallace 3. It's not going down. That is all she wrote. They're gonna foul Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey to get the last points in this game, more than likely. First free throw is going not in, but still remain a 6-point game. And the Thunder do not have any timeouts. Second one doesn't go in either. So we missed both free throws with Giddey. That's fine. All the clock is going to come off. They're taking their sweet time getting the ball up. 1 second left. No basket. And just like that, the Chicago Bulls are champions, man. Let's freaking go, bro. Honestly, a lot earlier than I even anticipated. Ultimately, it led us to where we wanted to be. A lot of good trades we made, a lot of roster construction that went our way, and we ultimately bring a championship to the Bulls, which is just a great feeling. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Also, hope you guys had a great weekend as well. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.